Yeah, I love it. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our Shackleton Expanse campaign for Star Trek Adventures. We are here with yet another episode where we put the station in jeopardy and the player characters have to run around, figure out what the hell to do. Let's meet those people playing those other people in the fictional place that we're playing today. Fantastic. Good job. Absolutely professional. As ever, first on my little rotation around the overlay is Anita. How are you this week?
I am doing well. I met up with a friend this weekend, did a little bit of adulting, and we had to postpone our finale until this week. So we're gonna have a lot of feels at the end of this week on Friday, with our series finale. It's gonna be a good time. But yeah.
Sweet. Awesome. And that is on Critical Misses.
On Critical Misses, yes.
Is it?
And
Yeah.
also, I've been busy reviewing applications because we've got our summer slate of shows. The application deadline for GM pitches is on Friday, and so I've been sort of reviewing them as we go to try and figure out where we're going to schedule folks.
Awesome. Well, I hope you've got a few good candidates.
We've got some really good ones so far. I'm very excited.
Nice. Awesome. Cool. And then Tom, I'm not looking at the overlay. You're next, right? Yeah.
Yes.
I see you. Hello.
Maybe. Hello.
How's your week been? How you been? I'm all right. I'm good.
It's good. It's good. Yeah, it's been okay. It's been okay. I'm enjoying the dry weather. It's really nice to have dry weather and sunshine and everything.
It's been very warm here in the UK.
Yeah, it's very rare, so you got to grasp it while you can. So yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice. I had a look at the title of today's episode, so I'm looking forward to that.
And I like the double entendre nature of it.
Yes,
but you know,
yes.
we're setting up a little romantic situationship.
Oh yeah, I didn't even consider
imminent collision.
That, but now I
got a perfect A plot and B plot this week. It's a stroke
honest.
of Next Generation master stroke.
Let's be honest. The date is the A plot. Let's be honest here. It's what we
100%.
What we all want. Yeah, I'm good. I'm not too bad. I'm excited to play.
Good. Looking forward to it. And Tim, how have you been this week?
It was a long weekend for us in BC. So I planted a garden on my balcony and played Minecraft and cleaned my room and did laundry. It was good.
I miss May long weekend.
It was good. I didn't do my dishes, and that is like going to be a problem probably tonight when I get home, and I should have done my dishes, but now I have to do them before I can eat tonight. So it's kind of like this force yourself into it scenario.
Yeah.
That's fair. I don't cook. I get people to cook for me, but I have to cook. I love cooking, and I'm a good cook. I'm getting way off topic. Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. We're setting you up with a date this week, aren't we?
Oh my God. I wish that were booked. Yes, we are.
I'm excited. It's going to be fun. All right, Susie.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. I had a lovely long weekend here in Canada too. It was Victoria Day yesterday. Yes, Monday. Yeah, yes, I know what day of the week it is. Yes. And I spent the whole weekend getting my butt kicked back and forth in the Street Fighter beta, so that was fun.
I saw back on the fighting games.
Yeah, I'm back on the fighting games.
I saw your TikTok that was like you just teleporting. Was that what was that?
So that definitely
wasn't... a 3-second clip and you just laugh at the end, and I'm like, well, I liked it, but I didn't really understand it.
It's a character, and she does a smoke bomb and she dashes in the smoke bomb. But usually you use it to close distance or escape. But in that moment, me and that new player were also just panic mashing, and we just kept hitting it, and we were going like this backwards and forwards, and that's why I was laughing, because it was very funny. Kind of had to be there a moment, but yes, fighting games good. Expect next week for me to be like, oh, my hand hurts. Because I will
have like one of the
myself.
sprain thingies, the bandages.
Yeah, I'll just be there
totally.
like on stream, like I gotta keep it elevated because my wrist broke.
Please don't do that.
No.
Don't do that. Well, in similar fashion, I've been getting back into Assassin's Creed, so I'm playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey at the moment.
All right.
I didn't hang off Zeus's dong in the first island like you can on that big statue, but I did think
I'm
of
sorry,
you,
what?
Susie, who told me about that.
I
Well, Assassin's Creed,
absolutely
you can
did.
climb up. You can climb up stuff, right?
Okay.
On the first island, like the introductory, like tutorial island for the game, there is a big Zeus statue, and he's naked, and you can climb it, so you can hang off his dong.
Gotcha. Okay. A whole
I didn't,
thing
but
went
I
through
thought of
my gay
Susie.
brain, and I was like not there with you. I was in a completely different place. Now I am. We're good.
It's a great way to it's a great point to come back in the conversation.
Apparently I'm
Important
going on a
question.
date tonight because my brain's there.
I already know what you're going to ask me, Cassandra.
Good.
Obviously,
All right. Good. All right. Don't have to ask.
obviously playing Strong Girl. Yeah,
Those songs,
100%.
though.
She's the better character. Like
She is. Yeah.
I could not, Mr. Bland,
Fun
like all the way through
fact.
a game. I could not play that.
Here to ruin your media for you. She was the main character until they were forced to put the male character in.
Fun. I mean, I can see, like, I can kind of see, not why, but like why she was maybe the main character. Or I can see the fact that she would have been the main character in a way. Actually, that makes a lot of sense. Reading it, like listening to the lines and stuff.
Mhm.
Anyway, getting into that after ages of not playing Assassin's Creed, because I just got really fed up with the meta plot. But yeah, that's been fun. And then work's been work. Making games, playing games, living the life, all that nonsense. I'm in the editing mines at the moment on Cursed Captains of Cthulhu, so I've got gonna have to set myself like some time every single day to at least look at it, to get just kind of churn through it basically. But we're going to play Star Trek Adventures now. And as we do, as I assume we're going to do it, and we're going to do it now, I guess, April, we've got a couple of copies of the Star Trek Adventures module for Roll20 to give away in chat tonight if you stick around. So about midway point through the session and at the end of the session, around the 2-hour mark, we'll do a couple of draws from that. If you would like to enter that competition, when prompted in chat, just type in !Roll20, just ROLL20, and then Nightbot will enter you into that competition, and we'll draw names. So there are 2 up for grab tonight. So 1 through the midway point of the session and 1 at the end. And that's what we're using to play tonight. We're on Roll20 and we're using the module as well. Super handy. It's got the full compendium, all the kind of searchable rule function that you would get from a regular module on Roll20. So yeah, super buzzed. All right. Well, chums, I have the log today. We're doing like a station log thing rather than a full, rather than a little personal or officer's log. So here it goes. Station log, stardate 48702.6. An asteroid has eluded the station's sensors and is on a collision course at a rapid velocity. ETA 3 hours. We are as of yet unable to discern its composition, but Dr. Taliaferro believes it may be composed of kelbonite or other minerals capable of deflecting scans. We'll do what we can from the station, but I've alerted flight operations to have a runabout on hot standby if we need to get a closer look. And we start tonight's session in Ops. This is quite a wide deck, the operations deck. Admiral Hebert at her kind of circular command station is monitoring various systems of the station, but on main viewer in Ops, we have a visual of a rather strange looking asteroid. Very dark in nature and reflecting a lot of light in lots of different crags and places and stuff like that. Burrell, you are in Ops at the moment with the rest of the Ops team. And Admiral, they're working away diligently to try and get some telemetry on this asteroid and to figure out just what is going on and why it is heading towards the station at such a high velocity. Threat tonight only starts at 4. We're going to go for a slightly more chill session, but there is still stuff going on. Now, I'd say typically speaking, an asteroid heading towards the station isn't a huge deal. You've got phasers, you've got phaser banks and arrays, and you've got photon torpedoes as well. So you could easily destroy this asteroid. But Admiral Hebert is absolutely adamant that she does not want this to just be blown out of the sky because this could be something that an intelligence has sent, or there is somewhat of a mystery to this, and she's a fan of a mystery. So what you pick up on, first of all, is obviously all the kind of commotion that's going on around you with the different station staff. And she is trying to get an understanding of the composition of the asteroid itself. She's asking science stations, what do we have? If they can boost signals to sensors, we can dip in comms. She's doing all those typical Starfleet things. She's like, hail them. There's no response to the asteroid, so there's no like kind of maybe guidance to it or something like that. So she's asking for options, and she's asking for that kind of thing. I'd love you to roll to start us off. Something to do with scanning it, to try and find out more about this asteroid. What kind of approach would you like to take figuring out what's going on with this asteroid?
Okay, so let's see. I'm trying to think like what Burrell. She's not really a sciencey minded. She's much more like the practical. So if we can't pick up anything from the station scans as it is, she'd probably talk about like launching a physical probe out there, something that we can actually like,
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe even take a sample if we can get close enough to it. Like
yeah,
beam a little chunk off.
One of the sensor tasks you've got there for operating a starship is launch probe, in effect. All right, so you suggest launching a probe, and she says, excellent idea, Chief. And she commands Tactical to launch a probe. Let's get some better telemetry here. And it's at this point that General Kargan shows up through a couple of the big swishy double doors and heads through into, and just quietly just regards the scene, looks up at the main screen and looks at some of the readouts that are coming out from it, some of the LCARS pop-ups that are coming out and showing some of the mixed messaging the sensors are giving you. Okay, so this is going to reduce the difficulty of sensor sweep tasks by 2. Okay. So you've got a good look at this thing. And I would say then that reduces it to just a difficulty of 1. But if you give me a so this could be something like insight, reason, with sciences as your discipline.
Yeah. Big whole point. Big old 1 in science. Yeah.
This is going to be assisted by the station.
Okay.
As well. So if somebody as well wants to roll for the station.
Hey, Sam. Would you like an extra point of threat to give me an extra
Sure.
die? Wonderful.
Yeah, no problem.
I can roll to assist with the station. Is that the systems, the sensors, and science?
Absolutely.
Ooh,
yeah.
Cornerstone stats. Let's go.
Yeah. What do we get? A complication. Ooh.
Complication. We love that. 1 success from me.
But the station critted. We've got those awesome sensors going on. Were there any talents from the station that applied as well? I just want to double check.
Let's check.
In the bio, it should have all the talents as well. 5A strappers. No, okay, so it doesn't have any like improved sensor talents or anything like that. By the looks of it.
No, it does not. But if this thing hits us, we have sturdy construction.
Hey.
Oh, nice. So the station only suffers a breach if 8 or more stress are inflicted rather than normal 5. Nice. Cool. That's really good to know, actually. So, Susie, do you want to buy off that complication with 2 threat?
What do you think, gang? Yeah?
Yeah, it's early in the game.
Yeah, why not? There you go. Treat yourself.
Treat myself to 7.
Have some more threat.
Thanks. But with 3 successes, you do manage to succeed in the task about getting some telemetry on this asteroid, and you've got yourself 2 momentum as well. So the probe gets up close, and so you can, through a little picture-in-picture on the script on the main viewer, see the probe get launched out. And then as it gets closer, it starts to pick up more of the composition of the asteroid itself and gives you a bit more information about what it is like. The asteroid is made of a kelbonite composition and other minerals. Kelbonite is something that would spoof your senses for sure. And it is it's mineral in nature. It is an asteroid itself, but the officers around you, and particularly as the kind of you see on the main viewer, one of the younger, say, ensigns who's operating one of the science stations speaks up and says, actually, does that look shaped to you? Does that look like a ship? It does have a bit of a ship-like quality to it in that sense. It's not aerodynamic, it's in space, so it's not got the kind of profile of a typical starship that you might see. It could be their paranoia, it could be something related to its that's been constructed in some way. We do have a couple of momentum, and one of the momentum spends is asking questions, so I wondered if you wanted to like get any more information about the asteroid up front as well.
Do it.
I'm happy to crowdsource questions, by the way, gang.
I'm more than happy for people to chat away and to think about what questions you want to ask as well.
I mean, the obvious question to ask is this in fact a vessel of some kind?
Yeah. That's a good
like,
number one.
Are our fears founded? Is this a vessel of some kind?
I mean, you could always ask if there are any energy readings coming from it, so like anything, any power,
like any sort of power
actually
systems.
powered.
Any life signs?
And maybe like if I think the first question could be like if it's a vessel. The second would be life science is good, but also like where is the power source, like the propulsion systems, because then we would know a place to cut it.
Okay, Sam, number 1, is this in fact a vessel?
It is. It is a vessel in that it is constructed. There are energy sources within it. And while the sensors do not detect life signs, there is movement, both on the surface and within the asteroid itself.
Huh.
As in small dots of movement that would indicate people occupying the vessel in some fashion.
Oh. Okay. I feel like that was too.
Do you want to ask a second question?
Can we do like a light show, like a Close Encounters from the Third Kind vibe? Since they're not returning to scans, like can we come up with something else, like prime numbers and flashing lights or something like that?
My idea is that it's possible that the minerals that make up this composition, since they've been able to spoof the sensors of the station, potentially could be spoofing of life signs as well. Like that
need to get a closer look at this thing. Yeah.
You say that, Admiral Hebert turns around to you and says, if that's the case, we can fire up one of the runabouts and send people out there rather than just a probe. General Kargan comes up behind her, and he, in his zone, has got his own kind of like command console as well, just to his left, just beside the admiral's, and he patches through. You can hear the familiar kind of Klingon chirps of a communication system, and he says, "Beta Wing, prepare fighters and a bird of prey. Get out there. And Admiral turns around to him and she's like, what is this? What are you doing? And he says, well, if it's a ship, then the station is under threat. We must get out there and face whatever it is. Dramatic music, and then we see the dramatic Star Trek music, escalation of strings, a little crescendo, and then we see so the bird of prey and a couple of the two fighters, and it's kind of at this point as well that Harvey, you've got the Zambezi on the hot standby ready to go just in case the Admiral needs to dispatch it straight away. And you can see there the Klingon crews getting together their two Klingon fighters that are in the small craft docking bay area that you work in. And they're all running up the ramps, getting onto the fighters, launching them off and heading out of the space dock doors. And then you can see through as well, through the force field of the docking bay doors, that a bird of prey undocks, descends, and then heads off at impulse off to the asteroid. Moments later, they head towards it, and they're within close range. They get within that kind of close ideal firing distance for a disruptor. But it's throughout this process that the Admiral has managed to de-escalate the General a little bit. And so basically the bird of prey is kind of stood on standby, but its disruptor cannons its weapons are live, and they're ready to fire just in case. And the asteroid pivots, drifts a little bit, but actually the reading, and it's kind of obvious now that you've kind of scanned it, you've got these energy signatures from it as well, that it intentionally tries to move out of their way. The bird of prey starts to match the course, and the bird of prey is obviously far more maneuverable than this constructed, mineral ship, I guess. But they're kind of pursuing. But while it's changed its course, it diverts it, but it's still on track for the station itself. And there's some debate. General Kargan's like, they're trying to evade us. It's obviously something, and Admiral's like, well, because you've just sent ships after them, they're just trying to avoid them, but they haven't returned fire. They haven't shown us any forms of aggression. We need to get out there. Is there any other questions you want to ask if you want to spend that point of momentum? Or do you feel like you've got enough to go out there with and jump on a runabout and get out there and take a look?
Are they have weapons showing? Is it are they coming in aggressive, or are they coming in kind of just coming in? Do they seem to be coming in hot, or just coming in maybe they're in trouble and need help and can't respond? What's the vibe the ship is giving off? Because Star Trek always has vibe through their ships.
I'd take that as a question.
Yeah, that's a good question.
All right, let's spend that point of momentum.
You can hear Rg'von in your head.
What are the vibes?
Yeah.
What are the vibes of the ship?
To me, standing there looking out the window. That's cool.
All right. Here's my answer.
Uh-oh.
You managed to again pierce through the interference that the kryptonite kelbonite is giving you. Let's just call it kryptonite from now on, I guess. And there is one weapon signature that you detect from your station. It is the same kind of energy, or it's the same kind of reading that you would get from an active incoming torpedo.
Oh.
But it is inside the asteroid, and there is an obvious entry point where the torpedo is embedded in the asteroid.
Huh.
Huh.
I was going to say incision point, but that's not what I mean. But it's
There's a hole.
There's
an
a
entry
hole.
wound.
Yeah, like
An
it's
entry wound.
essentially an entry wound.
Okay, and it's active. It hasn't gone boom.
Hasn't gone boom, but you can detect that and it's giving off like quantum torpedo vibes.
Oh, quantum. Oh.
Do we know whose torpedo it is? Like what military?
Not at the moment. You're out of questions and momentum, I'm afraid.
That's our two.
That's where we leave
All right.
it. So the Admiral turns around to you and says, Chief, assemble a team and get out there. Oh, and as you as you're leaving, as you're about to get on like the turbo lift, as you're about to go through, she turns around and she goes, "Oh, don't forget your EV suits."
Would I be able to
Excellent.
volunteer Dr. Cella as the medical officer for this mission?
Yeah, absolutely. Or I've also given you guys an open, ready to write up supporting character in the supporting character folder. If you want to create a new supporting character, that's absolutely fine too.
I'm gonna bring Dr. Cella as an expert in emergency medicine and exobiology, or xenobiology.
Yeah.
I think that she would be a good asset to the team in case there are anybody that is hurt aboard, and especially if it's a life form we haven't yet encountered.
Perfect. Absolutely. Cool. Meanwhile, at Ekka's place, we find Ekka at the bar, as usual, surveying their establishment. We find a rather nervous Rg'von sat at the bar. What are you drinking? Waiting for your date.
Oh, so from the last thing, I really kind of fell for those Orion tropical waves. So I'm into that. I think it's kind of like a mix between like a Cosmo and but it's got like that what's the one that Troy likes, the sunset, when he flicks and it does the cool colors.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thinking
of the one you mean.
That one. So it's like a mix between those two. So it's definitely like got that Cosmo sort of tart and sweet vibe, but you ting it and it makes cool colors. So whenever you cheers, it makes a cool color. That's an Orion tropical wave. Done.
Nice. And these have been flying out of Ekka's place too since you put them on your menu after the pleasure barge arrived. Like a couple of weeks ago. Like they've just been, you put them back on the menu and they've been like flying out.
I don't
Everyone's like addicted to these now. But yeah.
I feel like you're pacing, but you're sitting still, and come on, you're bothering my customers.
I'm sorry. I'll go over. Can I have the darts? I'm asking for darts. I've never played darts in my life. What am I supposed to do? He's not here yet.
He'll be here when he gets here. I mean, he's very prompt and punctual. You were the one that decided to show up early.
Just gonna say I'm the one that's 45 minutes.
Vulcans are always on time.
No,
and Tadak is no exception.
I wanted to be like extra on time. It made sense in my head.
Do you want another one?
No. Yes. No.
Here, I'm gonna give you something a little stronger.
No. Okay. What do you give me?
Yeah.
I think that it's a shot, but it's kind of got that same. But the bottle is one color. It's like a vibrant blue, but as it pours out into the glass, the liquid sort of shimmers, and it turns purple when it fills up the cup.
Is it like pouring like liquid, or is it pouring like Canar? Like what do we?
Oh no, it's not thick. It actually almost pours kind of like glitter.
Okay. Yeah.
It like almost turns like this sort of like crystalline a little as it exits the vessel, but it turns to liquid in the glass.
Nothing like drinking a unicorn.
No.
All right, I just down it. I don't even think. I just down it.
It tastes kind of it's kind of a little little sour, but it brightens up. But there is that strong alcoholic burn at the end.
Right. Smell it. Thank you.
Couple more of those and you won't remember your date.
I don't want that. I want to remember the date.
Okay. But it should take the edge off for now.
I
Listen,
want to know, Tim, what holosuite program have you booked for your date?
Oh shit! I was supposed to pick one. I thought Eka had one in mind.
I think Eka had one in mind.
Okay.
Okay, go good.
So I knew that Rg'von has is a what was it, Akujitsu?
Enbojitsu.
Enbojitsu is an Enbojitsu master, and I figured that as Tadok is a expert in Sus Manha, which is a Vulcan martial art, which is kind of, I think, if I'm remembering my enterprise correctly, might be very similar to Tai Chi. So I almost set up like a little mixed martial arts arena for them where they could like do some sparring, kind of like Worf's training program. There are combatants if they want, but if they want, they can also do 1v1.
Where they could wrestle. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Want to wrestle?
Yeah. Okay.
And honestly, I think that Tadok does not see this as a date, but sees this as like an opportunity to spar with someone.
Oh, God damn it.
Okay. All right. That's what we're going with. All right. Okay, cool. So the chronometer in the bar turns to on the hour that you've arranged.
Give it in 5, 4, 3, 2, and then Tadok walks through the door.
There is an uncomfortable few seconds more.
Oh, he's late.
But finally Tadok walks through the doorway into Eka's place. He's wearing a very sleek, like black outfit. Very simple, like to the neck, high collar. And then bare arms. And then some, I don't know, shiny trousers because it's Star Trek, right? Some think Arm Boy from Eurovision. Greece, Cyprus. Can't remember. Whichever one of those. It was Cyprus, wasn't it, right? Yeah. And so in he walks.
Before he sees me, Eka just kind of reaches over and does this.
Yeah.
Closes my mouth.
Lift that. Oh, okay. Your
Yeah, and
eyes
so
are real wide right now. Why are your antennas so straight? Relax.
Tadok kind of looks around the bar, and
You've never seen a blue-skinned creature blush so bright in your life.
Just turn more blue.
It's darker,
bright blue.
More purple.
And he's scanning the room. Eka, and you would recognize it's more a kind of like he's surveying the clientele rather than like looking for you guys. Once he's done that, though, he settles firmly directly into the eye line of the bar and sees the both of you and heads over. Guys, this is the second time we've introduced Tadok as a supporting character. So you get to give him either a new value, +1 attribute, fitness, +1 discipline, a new focus, or a new talent. I know. You were talking about the martial arts before, so I wonder if I was thinking as well, like for security reasons, the little Vulcan nerve pinch might be a good talent to have.
I agree. Vulcan nerve pinch is excellent.
Vulcan nerve pinch. I'll add it to the special rules.
Sounds good.
Nice.
Salad.
Awesome. And so he walks over to the both of you at the bar, and he says very simply, Eka.
Tadok?
Rg'von.
It's agreeable to see you. You're late.
I did not know I was late.
Normally you're right on time. As soon as the clock ticks, you walk through the door. A few seconds. Are you feeling all right?
If you wish to measure my schedule by the second, I can adjust my thinking.
Oh no, that's not at all. I was just used to you performing in a certain way. It's fine.
Should I perform in a different way? And he kind of looks slightly sheepishly over to Oshron.
Perform in whatever way makes you feel
Oshron
comfortable.
chokes on his drink.
Perform
Are
in
you
whatever
well?
way makes you feel comfortable. However,
I'm fine. I'm fine. Are you ready?
Yes.
Shall we spar? And hit totally voice cracking. I don't think Oshron's ever been this nervous. Oshron went through like diplomatic corps training in front of Klingons and can hold his own. And suddenly in front of this, it's like, but he's keeping it all inside. The ish.
have
Can
fun,
you roll
boys.
control and command for me, please?
Also, anyone who's watching, this is literally what it's like to date me. So, hi.
Difficulty 2.
Control and what, sorry?
Command. To keep a lid on all of this.
Okay.
And yeah, difficulty 2.
I use negotiations as a focus.
You're not negotiating with him. You're trying. This, Tom, is composure.
All right.
3 successes. Okay.
Nice.
As he looks you up and down, you are inscrutable.
Oh, I rolled a 1. Yeah.
There you go. All right. You leave the bar, and you're on your way to the Hollow Suite.
Can I use one of my momentum?
Absolutely. Yeah. How would you like to use it?
So I'm going to use my momentum to create an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to Doc to get the hint.
Okay.
So if Eka set it up as like a training thing, I would like to Doc to understand that that's not what it was intended to be now.
All right.
Because
it's not quite going to be
hold back their emotions. They're not stunned. They just choose not to emote.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's not quite going to be the advantage that you're after, as that's 2 momentum, but that 1 momentum, we'll use it narratively to be like, he understands.
Okay.
Now that as the conversation, I'd create an advantage in 2 momentum.
I don't do that.
That's all right.
The more I play with you, the more I realize I butcher the rules in my own game. Never watch me run a game. You'll be like, oh, okay. No.
That game you wanted to run us just like half an hour ago? Yeah, absolutely. Like an hour ago? Absolutely. I'm there taking notes.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I'm an awful player. I'm a rules lawyer. I'm horrible. Right. So, the conversation, you're asking him personal questions, that kind of thing, I guess, as you're kind of like starting this out as a date. So, and even if they're not invasive, they're more of a personal nature. And so I think you don't see anything. You do, because like dramatically, I want to make this interesting. So you do see, after a few personal questions, you do see a kind of like a typical eyebrow raise, like the typical Vulcan.
As I get one, I double check that it's okay that I keep asking, because I want to show interest. I don't want to be cringe and creepy.
So he's got his arms kind of clasped behind his back as he's walking down the promenade with you, and he says, there are some things that I would like to keep personal. I will tell you if you overstep.
Oh, okay, good, thank you.
And then the Hollow Suite doors open with that big swoosh, and he extends an arm out and he says, after you.
Thank you.
And he doesn't like bat an eyelid then as you crack, and then he.
No, I'm totally the one. I know I'm the one that's like gonna. Yeah, I think I'll have to roll like a lot of successes to get him to crack it all, but that's okay. Effort.
And so you request the. Well, actually, the program is already running. and you're in a Vulcan like dojo, effectively, like a martial arts. It's going to be a combination, I think. Maybe just thinking of the kind of Vulcan vibes of like temple and martial arts, like training hall.
Nice. Okay.
And
I
there's
kind of like
a
stretch out and enjoy the heat. I'm like,
a hot Vulcan desert planet
yeah,
kind of
perfect.
territory. And when you turn around, he is taking his top off.
So okay, so it's more like yeah.
Horny track.
Best track.
Best track is horny track. Yeah.
Yeah. I drop my like stick that I've got, like or my helmet. So we got those helmets, right? Like I absolutely drop my helmet. Like I'm totally like caught off guard.
And so what? So he's like God. Fitness 10. So he's not like the peak, but he's definitely got like a six pack. Yeah.
Oh, I'm fitness 9. Okay, I'm not bad. Not bad.
Okay, yeah. So he's he's not like bodybuilder, but he is like built ready to tackle people who get too drunk, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yes.
And he stands with his arms behind his back and he says, "Shall we begin?"
Yeah. Yeah. Are we gonna do them? And I kind of like point out towards no one because I'm thinking that it can be like a back-to-back thing.
There's no one else in the Holosuite program.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Okay. Yeah. Let's spar. Let's do this.
All right. This is gonna be an opposed test.
I can do the thing. I got this.
So we're gonna do so we're gonna do like what would be a oh my god, words. Conflict, like not physical conflict, like negotiation, kind of verbal conflict stuff, but using the fitness and security kind of combat-y type rules.
Yeah, we could even do like the prop. Yeah, like so I spar, he spars, and whoever gets the higher can take it on the other one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But this is more like, I think the outcome of these roles are more about your kind of like romancing him, right?
Right. Yeah.
So a success for you is making some progress in that. Success for him, you don't know what his intentions are yet. So it could be trying to push you off. It could be trying to court you. We'll see.
This is just as bad as a real date. I'm like so nervous right now. This is stupid. All right.
Okay. A focus, fitness and security. But Tim, I will take other stats. If you want to kind of like, if you want to reason other stats, then I'll take some suggestions.
Okay, so my first one I'll do as a fitness and security, but I'm gonna use my Ambo Jitsu focus. And then once we kind of get into it and I see how well matched I am versus not well matched, I might switch to like presence and security, because then I can kind of use my awareness of the skill versus like try and throw the Vulcan off rather than beat the Vulcan.
Yeah, no, I love that. Cool. Yeah. All right. Okay. He's going to take this a little bit. He's going to take this a little bit too seriously, and I'm going to throw in a dice by spending one threat.
Okay, I'm unaware. Okay. I would be clueless. I'm just going with my 2.
You need 2 successes. All right, so we both succeeded, but I scored 1 momentum, and so I've got that threat back, and he succeeds. So yeah, there's a good struggle, there's a good like match, but then he manages to like floor you, and he does one of those martial arts things where he's going to like strike you, but he just stops just beforehand, and it's like a forearm strike or something, and he stops just there, and then after a few seconds he gets up and he stamps his arms behind his back.
I don't even flinch. I like, because I'm expecting that, right? Like I'd be more shocked if he actually followed through. So I'll get up and I'm like, nice. And then I crack a couple, and you know what? Just for like effect, because we don't know what's. I kind of like stretch out one of my antennae, and you hear like a couple knuckle cracks because I figure it's like cartilage. And then I'm like, shall we go again? And I'm kind of like, I'm into this now. I'm ready for this. But now I'm gonna throw in like a snide, like a not. So for anyone else, it wouldn't be an evasive question, but for a Vulcan, it's just on that verge of being personal enough to try and throw him off while we're fighting. So I'm going to use my presence and security this time.
Okay. I'm going to keep using my fitness and security. I'm going to do exactly like I did last time. I'm going to buy a dice.
God, I gotta win this one. Okay, here we go. Oh, that feels good. Come on.
3 successes. So he manages to defeat you again.
The question I asked was, oh, you know what? I'll just go like really like direct and blunt. Like, well, not blunt. I'll go direct. So it was like, do you have a partner back on Vulcan?
And he blinks at you a couple of times, and he says, "Why do you ask?"
Oh, just curiosity's sake. And I kind of hold up my hand for him to help me out.
And he does so, but he says, "I often find that phrase curiosity is shielding something."
Oh, well, you know, partly conversation, partly just making sure that I don't waste time. And then I kind of like immediately prep myself and get ready to go again before he can like actually respond. I'm sure he knows what I'm doing because he's not an unintelligent Vulcan. Otherwise, I wouldn't be hot for him. But it's like definitely kind of like now I'm like trying to keep him on edge, if as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he kind of looks at you and he says, "Are we really sparring? Oshron?"
Oh, absolutely. And with that, I'll spend a threat to give myself a third dice. And I'm gonna stay with oh no, I'm gonna switch to control. Because now I've been called out. So now I'm like, oh no, let's make this real. So control and security, if I may.
All right, I'm gonna roll insight and security.
Oh, son of a bitch. Okay, and I'm going, oh, I see that complication.
I rolled 2 successes with that crit, because I'm still using my martial arts focus, but I rolled a complication.
I got my martial arts focus as well, and here we go. Oh, so mine doesn't have a complication. Do I win this one?
So it's a dead heat, but I will give it to you, yeah. And the complication will come into effect like afterwards. But so what's your approach then to this sparring match?
Oh, so like I definitely have a crush on him, and I would just want to make sure that it literally is not wasting my time. I wasn't lying. That was not a deceit. That was dead serious. But I'm trying to respect him as a Vulcan, because I know that it's not like I don't want to. I know better, so I'm not going to be walking down the streets pawn far, right? I want to actually I want to actually show him that I can respect him, and like I want to just see where this goes.
Okay.
But
and the
sparring is good too, because realistically my character needs to do that a little more anyways, I think.
But so, you know, you kind of explain that to him, and there is a kind of quizzical look about his face. And he says, curious. And what form do you want the complication to take? Like what has set him at a detriment?
Oh, see, I didn't see this one as being a detriment. More like, for me, this complication would be like his kind of like his stoicness broke for a second. Like it's not maybe a smile.
Okay.
Like there was a pass. Like I get a hint as to whether or not I'm beating a dead tree or whether I have a chance. That's kind of what I'm going for with this complication. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, he did in that last bout, he did like lose it a little bit. You saw a little bit of that Vulcan emotion bubble over, and like not all Vulcans are going to be perfect. They're not going to have all done the meditation and that kind of effective logic on their emotional selves. And so yeah, there's that little bit of aggression that I probably think that Eka you like employed for. Sometimes it comes out a little bit, and so yeah, he I think as well, part of the complication, I'd love it for it to be a bit of flavor, that he like almost like he gets a graze on his like elbows. He would have followed through on that strike, but you managed to dodge out the way and actually reverse it and then kind of get him. Yeah. Right.
So you never asked me, do you have a mate? And then I kind of like, I get ready to go again.
And he says,
the question. I find that's usually a thing that Vulcans do when they not really don't want to answer, because if you don't want to answer, you'll actually say that. But when you're nervous to answer, then you avoid the question. That may be just me.
But he turns to you and kind of up from where he's looking down the floor for a second, and he says, curious. I still do not understand many of the humanoids courting situations.
I literally, my reaction is exactly this. Neither do I. And I go to hold out my hand and help him up again.
And there's like a flicker of a smile, like just a hint in his expression. But he clasps your arm in a kind of shake, and he says, I do not.
Like,
and we cut back.
My brain
go on.
is like, I don't what? I don't what? Oh, yeah, right. I'm like, no, I didn't fail that. What's going on?
And we cut back to Zambezi on hot standby, ready to go. Tom, I need to know what pod you've installed on the runabout.
What pod? Oh, right.
What pods for this mission? Yeah, if you pull up the runabout, it'll tell you on the
module.
bio.
What module are we gonna do?
Yeah. We've got passenger transport, cargo transport, long duration, or combat.
It could potentially be hostile, couldn't it?
Potentially.
So I would offer two choices to the chief. Either a cargo for our ability to maybe bring something back to study, or combat because it could potentially be a hostile situation.
Well, in the case of a hostile situation, we do have the bird of prey and the two fighters to back us up.
And a station.
And the station. I feel and Burrell sort of like, you can see this is difficult for her to say, that wading in there with more weapons will not help the situation, and that if we are to stick to Starfleet's principles, then we should equip the cargo module.
Is this challenging one of your values here, Burrell?
Maybe. I think so.
Death before dishonor? You want to challenge death before dishonor?
Yeah, because she's otherwise, her first instinct would be like, let's blow it up.
Yeah, that's cool. You gain a point of determination.
Hey.
You delete that value.
Oh.
You haven't got it for the rest of the session, and then you get to rephrase it at the end of the session. Based on what you've learned. Yeah.
Only sometimes death before dishonor.
No. All right, so you're jumping the runabout with the doctor as well, and hot tail it up into space and off towards the asteroid. So you get closer towards the asteroid, you can see much more of the kind of telemetry that you were looking at from the op station. So you can see those Kelbonite formations. And you can see now that some of them are actually quite smooth. Some of them are actually quite kind of formed into different shapes. It's still kind of tangibly an asteroid, though. It is being, this would almost imagine like if there is some intelligence behind it, more like an insect's nest or a kind of beehive or something like that, where it's been kind of constructed into rather than, say, actually formed as a ship. And so a lot of this, black, almost obsidian-like rock that reflects a lot of the light that's coming, both reflecting off of the planet and the sun that's in the system that you're in. And you can start to see some of those caves, essentially, entry points in towards the asteroid. And you also probably get a little flyover the the entry point from the torpedo. And you're kind of getting some more scans and stuff like that from there. All right, what's your approach? What's your first kind of task here? What I will say as well is that we are on a ticking timer. So we were 3 hours out from impact. We are now 2 hours out from impact.
Okay.
So all that work up in ops took a while, and then getting down and assembling the away team, to get up onto the runabout, and then actually getting from the runabout to the to the asteroid, has kind of taken that whole hour, essentially, all that time. But we're in position now, hovering mere meters from the asteroid surface. What would you like to do first?
Okay, so first of all, we've got to at least try. We're going to try hailing, just, when we're close, and see if we can reverse polarity of some particles or something and try and pierce through this interference or whatever. Try anything we can to try at least hail them as we've got really close.
All right. So you open hailing frequencies. All right, Tom, I need you to roll for me.
Well done.
I need you to roll a. I need you to roll.
I'm
probably
only opening it.
Yeah. But this is to try, and this isn't like presence. This isn't you speaking. This is you trying to work out how you might match the resonance of the composition of the kelbonite to see if you can actually get through to any kind of systems that are inside the asteroid. This is you techno-babbling your way into trying to communicate with them.
Okay.
So I need you to roll probably control and engineering for me.
Control engineering.
I think. Yeah.
Okay, no
And this
problem.
would definitely be, a focus along the lines of communication systems or something like that. So composure, unfortunately, not quite going to cut it with this one. And the runabout is going to assist. So Susie, please. If you can roll the runabouts, there is a communications system, right? It's been a while since I actually looked at these.
Yes.
You plot the runabout. There is a communications, and there is a command. I think that's what it's going to assist with.
All right, boop.
All right, Tom, give me that roll.
Fired.
All right.
Wow.
So the comms just aren't really, getting through the kelbonite hull of the asteroid, and it's just kind of, you get that like it's just that error, kind of like it's just not working. But then you see a little bit of movement on the surface, and as you're kind of hovering a good few meters above the asteroid surface, emerging from one of the kind of cave-like openings on the asteroid surface, walks a bipedal alien, large, black and reflective, like the crystals, like the kelbonite of the asteroid itself, and a large alien. Its main feature, extending out from almost the kind of upper torso of its body, are these two trunks, like an elephant, two trunks, and in its trunks it holds two half spheres of polished to a perfect shape, half spheres of kelbonite. And as it emerges, you're just kind of hovering, so you've got a viewpoint on that. And without any kind of hail coming through towards the runabout or anything like that, it takes these two spheres, and there's this beautiful ballet of it spinning them, and just like getting like in the 0G, just getting to like touch and impact each other, and there's no kind of an elaborate dance going on in front of you before it kind of halts and then holds them and waits.
I look about as like, any ideas? Doesn't seem aggressive.
Dark
Some
of you.
kind of method of communication, I would assume. I'm not sure if its intentions are friendly or hostile.
Can I scan the Federation database, see if we have any knowledge of a race like this, a species like this?
Yeah,
before?
you do. You pull up some of the library computers, and you don't have any match to
Oh,
this alien species.
oh, it's first contact.
All right. Well then, first contact procedures, I guess, are in order. And the doc is going to put on the exosuit.
Mm-hmm.
Set us down. Let's go say hello, I suppose.
There's a
Okay.
hail comes through from the station, and Admiral Hebert is on the other end asking, Chief, status.
Admiral, we've made contact with a unidentified species. They do not seem to be hostile. They're bipedal in nature. We're about to make first contact.
Hold tight for just a sec. I'll inform the ambassador. And she cuts transmission. And then back in the Vulcan dojo,
No!
you hear a little
Oh.
clip of a Starfleet communicator on your clothing that's in the pile in the corner that you partly took off to prep for getting all your little gear on and your little, pugil stick thing. But the communicator goes off as you're sparring once more with Tadok.
I'm gonna do it's in every single episode where it's like if this happens, I'm gonna do like a classic roll that really is completely unnecessary but very visual. And as I do, I'm gonna block one of his attacks and flick the communicator from behind. Oshrin here.
I like to think that like he's like pushing down on that, so you're actually getting quite close now, just like maybe a foot away from each other.
Oshrin here. Oshrin here. What can I do for you?
Ambassador, we have a first contact situation with incoming vessel. We need you up here in ops.
Oh, okay. Oshrin out. And I'm just gonna kind of like reach over and tap. So if he's pushing down really hard, when I reach, I have to let go. I'm just realizing that. So I'm gonna make a fitness and security to see if I can hold on.
Yeah, do it. Do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll as well.
This might be awkward. I'm not giving you the threat because I kind of want to win now.
I'll spend one. Boop.
Oh.
What did I roll? One and a complication.
And I got one.
You managed to. How am I keep rolling these complications? You, absolutely. You win it again. So you managed to like hold up with like. There's a bit of shifting, but you managed to like take the weight.
Yeah. And I'll just kind of, oh my god, I'm totally gonna give him just a flashy smile, and then just ever so slightly push just enough that he's like realizing I kind of had a little more in me than I was maybe holding. Like I wasn't holding back, but like, how do I? Because I don't want to embarrass him. The goal is to show that I'm worth it. How do I do that? Yeah, I'll just kind of hold my own, and I'll grab my shirt and I'll push up and let us kind of like stand together. Because like if he's pushing, we can use like fulcrum, right? So we'll stand together, and I'll just be like, so next time, and I'm gonna kind of slowly lay everything down and grab my stuff because I gotta go and I don't want to, but I gotta.
Yeah. And he just watches you leave.
He didn't say no, and for Vulcan, that is a solid probably.
And what form do you want your advantage to take as well? Because I rolled a complication there.
He's gonna text me later and ask me to go on another date.
Cool. All right. So like he's going to be the one that like
He's
out
gonna initiate
almost
the next one.
yeah, like
Yeah.
almost a bit too soon.
Oh, I'm awkward as AF. I would not notice that. There's no too soon. I'd be like instantly kind of like messaging Burrell. In fact, you know what? I'll chirp Burrell on the way. Okay, so I totally had the date. It went really well, and I'm on my way now to ops, and I'm like changing on the way. I'm probably still wearing like my like outfit underneath, and I'm like trying to adjust my robes, and I'm just talking into Burrell, and I can just imagine that you're in whatever mission you're in. And this is just broadcasting probably next to Harvey too, and anyone else who's on your team.
And like I think you're also walking out of the bar talking like you're having a very loud one-sided conversation of the cell phone.
I'm that asshole on the bus having a conversation that nobody wants to listen to. Oh my God.
There's the wonder, right, of this little runabout looking at this new alien that's performing this fushigi ball ritual, and then there's Oshron being like, so I had this day and it was great, and Tadok is like so dreamy.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. I'm so sorry.
Harvey slowly turns the volume down as he continues.
There's probably just a look from Harvey at the console, just like, what is this?
Burrell's just like, hey Oshron, we'll talk about it later, Echoes, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be seeing you in about 10 minutes.
And then it instantly clicks that I just interrupted probably the first contact. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Do you how do you want to go about this, Oshron? Do you want to beam to the runabout? Do you want to do it remotely from ops?
Well, I'll go to ops first. I figure that they would probably tell me because she ordered me up there, so that's probably where it would start. So
yeah,
we'll
so you'd get you would get a full brief from like what we've discovered as players, right? So we're looking at a species that most likely does not use verbal communication and therefore has not established a hailing process. So we're going to need to establish some visual communication methods, and you're a linguist. I hope that covered visual linguistics.
I don't see why it wouldn't. I mean, sign language is considered linguistics.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So on the main viewer, she patches through the runabout. And I like to think as well that, like, for the sake of kind of like pacing, like the view is like you guys in your EV suits, like gearing up, torches are on, like you're ready to kind of go, right? Yeah. And so so Admiral Hebert patches through to you, and you can see her on the viewer just in the runabout there as well, and she says, how are you doing, Chief? You ready?
She looks around. We're gonna have that moment where she looks at the rest of the crew before she gives a nod. Ready.
I have the ambassador here with me. He'll provide you some assistance.
All right.
All right. So, Harvey, you take the runabout. Also, the kelbonite, like the whole material, the minerals of the asteroid are, spoofing sensors, so they're therefore going to spoof the teleporters as well. So the safest way is to take it down. Yeah, onto the asteroid itself. And so you want to do that?
Yeah.
Very carefully to take it down in front of this, large.
When you say large,
alien person,
how large are we talking?
Like tall as an elephant.
Okay.
With like the two trunks. Yeah, a good 10 foot. A good 9-10 foot tall.
It's a valid question.
Yeah.
Important.
Yeah. You're not looking at a literal giant, but you are looking at
I was gonna say
an elephant person. So you're looking at an elephant person.
So I'll bring it down as gently as I possibly can.
Yeah. All right. You'll head out the side door, past the nacelle, round to the front of the runabout, and three of you are stood. And there is on the main viewer, Oshron, there is a view from a point of view camera on one of the helmets, or like the chief's helmet. and you see this alien being in front of you, and as I described, they are like composed of mineral themselves. They've got that same kind of like obsidian kind of kelbonite thing going on, and even the trunks themselves, and then they've got these two polished spheres, kind of half spheres of kelbonite, that then once the party approaches them in a very like Arrival-esque scene from that movie, you've got this alien stood in front of you, and then you've got the away team that you've got the camera view of. And once again, you think, away team, a different little movement this time, but there's a series of motions where the spheres are spinning, moving around, rotating, intertwining, and knocking off each other in certain positions. And even through the feeling, not through necessarily the space, but through the feeling of the now you've got boots on the ground, you almost get a little bit of that bass sound almost. So there's the vibration of like when it clicks and when it like spins and touches the kelbonite creature.
Are you gonna let me know that?
Yeah, so you'll be getting like a quiet running commentary of like the sensations, because you can obviously see things, but you won't be able to feel it. So Burrell is giving you like a running commentary quietly in a helmet.
I have a focus of xeno relations and linguistics. So I would like to do presence and science.
Yeah.
To try and give like a suss out for what this is. And you know what? I'm gonna use my new value. I chose to be here.
Yes.
That's so cool.
To give myself, because I changed the I-12 on the list.
That's so nice.
I chose to stay here is, I think, a better way to put that.
Yes.
And so that's my new value. So I had a great date. I'm confident he's going to call me back, and despite embarrassing the shit out of myself to Burrell's crew, she's probably trying not to like just tease me the hell about it later. So I'm in a good place. I'm like, no, you know what? They're here. I'm feeling the love. They're all peaceful. I have no real idea of that. I'm just kind of like, they haven't killed our staff on
good vibes.
Yet,
yeah.
So like, yeah. So I'm gonna take the value and give myself 2 successes. And then there's no momentum in the pool, is there?
There's not. So if you wanted to roll an extra die, it would actually be 2 momentum or two threat.
I'll just have my focus on, and I'll roll my task roll.
All right, this is gonna be difficulty.
Sorry. I was just gonna say, would Dr. Chella be able to assist by like sending telemetry from a tricorder?
Absolutely. Yeah. If you guys want to assist, and I would even say that Burrell's commentary is an assist as well. So you're getting that telemetry in the main viewer, you're getting the point of view camera, and you're getting the commentary from Burrell. So you're able to do all of this, and the 2 other officers there on the boots on the ground will assist you as you do this. Boots on the ground officers, pick an appropriate attribute and discipline, but I won't labor on that front, and then
I'll wait. You roll first. That way, it's more dramatic if I succeed.
and Anita, give Chella an extra thing. You've introduced her again to this to the game, so you get to if you've added that, or if you've not, crack on with that as well.
I'm gonna add a new focus, but I'll determine that later. I think I'm gonna use insight and medicine with my focus in xenobiology, if that applies.
Nice, yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Okay, so there's an assist from Burrell. The tricorder readings, I think they're still a bit fuzzy from the minerals on the asteroid.
Difficulty.
And so then
3, right?
difficulty 3.
Okay, so then we've already
got
succeeded.
2 successes.
So anything I roll will give us momentum.
Yeah.
Be good.
Yeah.
All right. So here we go. Come on, B. Come on. Oh no!
Right, so
no
successes from the rolled dice. but no complications. And you've got the 3 successes with Burrell's assist.
I rolled a 15.
So,
holy cow.
The basic success from this, I would say, is that you have managed to distinguish that this is a visual language that they are using. The vibrations the away team can hear kind of through their feet a little bit as these as the Kelbonite moves and as these little half spheres collide in space. That is a little bit of a red herring. If this is a purely visual language, and maybe even the Doctor, you get an idea of this, that if they've got, if they're clearly a like a void dwelling species, like they would not have evolved audio like receptors, like ears, anything like that necessarily. And so I would say that you are able to distinguish with your linguistics using the universal translator, Rg'von, some basic understanding of and being able to communicate in a rudimentary way. And so what you are understanding from this first contact is like damaged, attacked, repair, help.
Okay. So Burrell, it's kind of like what we figured, or what you figured from what I could read of your initial report. There is a kind of like they're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
They need help with the damage that they took. Do I have an idea of how to give a base respond of like no help?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
yeah.
And I kind of like over the screen, I tell Burrell to turn on her HUD.
Uh-huh.
And I kind of like I act it out, and I don't really tell anyone in ops what I'm doing. I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. You are missing a key ingredient of the language itself, though, and that is the half spheres. So you'll need to acquire some of those somehow.
Do I know that?
Yeah.
Okay, so then in that case, I'm gonna. I grabbed 2 mugs from like different officers, that because there was always a mug of something, and I kind of just like I don't even think about what might be in them, and I use them and as the half spheres.
Okay. Burrell, at your end, you need some objects. And preferably something that matches like what they've got, like what they're holding. You've got replicators on the runabout, or you could try and fashion some Kelbonite in some way. As a Doctor, like what would you think?
Dr. Chella's like, I have something for this, and is actually going to run onto the ship and replicate 2 Rg'von contact juggling spheres. And this is the new focus that I've taken. Because Dr. Chella used to work on Risa.
Yes.
And picked up contact juggling.
Did you literally just come up with that? Like, were you?
I just did.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Bravo.
Phenomenal.
I will
Okay.
So I will patch through, like, because Star Trek future technology.
Yeah.
I'll patch through that short video of Rg'von doing the movements to Chella and be like, look, you have the experience. I'm gonna need you to be our communication. Can you do that?
Okay, just let me know what movements I need to perform, and I'll be able to perform them.
That's the video that she's showing you. Yeah.
Yeah, and she just beams it through to you. She's on your little display.
Cool.
Oh my god, you're totally doing it on her on Star Trek 6 mode.
Yes, a little bit, just a touch. And then the doctor's going to do like a whole little contact juggling act based on the movements to let them know that we help.
Okay, so you're letting them know that you want to help. I'm going to get you to roll.
To help, and then maybe if you can, please stop your vessel. You're going to run into our station.
Okay.
I think it's going to be the basis of the message.
Okay. So
Okay.
in a sense, in the kind of first contact sense, it's like quite a complicated message. So I would say that if you wanted to do all of that, it's gonna be like difficulty 3. If you wanted to get a very basic message across, it'd be like difficulty 1, a little bit more difficulty 2. What you've got there, I think, is like a difficulty 3.
Okay, I'm gonna say we're here to help as just a baseline. Just to sort of establish communications.
Yeah, let's do it.
What they're saying, and like we can understand them.
Yeah, and then if we get any momentum, then we can like add little bits of message to it as well.
Can I roll an assist with my coffee dance?
100%. Yeah.
What would it be? Daring.
So this is definitely going to be like presence, and command. I would like take science, I think, from the doctor.
Presence and science?
Yeah.
Or control and science.
Control and I take control and science.
Okay.
For
sure,
me,
yeah.
These are
it's
like
very
specific movements.
It's very specific movements. Yeah, absolutely.
Can I keep my focus on for this?
Yeah, of course.
Boom. Oh, I scored 2.
That is 4
That's
successes. That's banked you 3 momentum, and you've managed to communicate. We will help. Are there any other messages? Very, very like short sentiments per momentum. So 1 like sentiment per momentum.
Stop ship. Yes, Suzanne. Brains.
I think the next one is, please bring your ship to a halt.
Yeah.
So that we can assist.
Okay.
Or I'm trying to think of this in simple terms so that it's not too complicated. It would be something like stop vessel.
Yeah.
We help, and the same sort of movements.
Yeah, absolutely. Were there any other sentiments you wanted to express? We've got 2 momentum in the bank, or did you want to keep them and save them?
Let them use them for when they're fixing the ship.
Yeah, I think we're gonna bank them for the repair team's work.
Okay. The sentiment that you get an acknowledgement back from the sphere dance, and then you guys can feel that momentum of like slowing down that you get from motion, and then after a little while, and there's probably a little bit more back and forth, trying to just establish a kind of like, a vibe with the alien. As it's slowing down, the station itself, and Harvey, I think this is more for your perception as a kind of spaceborne person, that like the station is no longer rotating in a certain way, and it's no longer getting any bigger. So you've matched the station's distance. But that's not to say that the asteroids just like they just stopped. Like that's quite a good good intentional, like there's clearly some design and clever engineering to this ship, because they're matching the distance, the speed, everything of the station, so they're not the station's not just disappearing off now in orbit,
Problems.
What do you guys like to do next? Would you like to investigate the issues? Would you like to try and discern from the alien more what they they are the so I can stop saying silly things like the alien.
I imagine with it we would do the basic like we are Starfleet, and then what do you call yourselves? Like
so they are the Rg'von.
Rg'von.
The Rg'von.
While they're doing this,
there's a G in there somewhere. Rg'von. So would you like to try and discern what the issue is more from the Rg'von, or would you like to investigate the asteroid and see more of the issue, and particularly this whole torpedo situations going on as well?
We should, I feel, work with them, because they know their vessel. We don't know what would be damaged, what is just part of their vessel. If it looks like an asteroid to us, we could just be like hole in it, and then by design, idiot. So we'll ask them to lead us to where the damage is.
Okay. So the Rg'von, like attendant person, the person that's with you, they actually just take you and you walk down that that wound, that entry point for that torpedo, and you've got this like wide, kind of breach in the asteroid's hull, and it's such a kind of strange sensation, a strange thought that maybe as an engineer, Harvey, you're just like walking down where this torpedoes hit a ship. So you
Kinda
walk down it, and
nervous.
it gets narrower and narrower and narrower, and then you can start to see. It's not so much like the light that you would expect, and we will see in the graphics, right? The torpedoes getting fired and that kind of bright light illuminating the space around it. But it's kind of like a heat. There's like an energy coming off the torpedo. And you can get a vague idea of the torpedo's kind of shape and design just from looking at it. And it's not any that you would particularly like recognize. Threll, definitely not like a Klingon photon torpedo. For Harvey, for the Doctor to a degree, definitely not like a Starfleet torpedo. Definitely not photon. And from the tricorder readings, giving off kind of different energy readings that like I said earlier, similar to what you would expect from like a quantum torpedo, but it's just not quite matching those frequencies or anything like that. And it's kind of it's obviously impacted some of the kelbonite, and as you've gone into the asteroid itself, the kelbonite seems to not only emit a slight light, as you can see the kind of like energy kind of running through it, like you might see or like you might imagine they're running through isolinear chip circuitry or EPS conduits. Like there's clearly energy within the minerals in this asteroid, and like so it's a technology you've never worked with before, but there's clearly some design and some build and energy contained in the minerals in the asteroid. But yeah, the little sphere dancing of your Rg'von attendant is indicating you to like, this is the problem.
Okay.
Like, attack, broken, help.
Chief, I've never seen a torpedo like this. I mean, if I start prodding at it, it might explode. Dark, could you, or Ashrong, this is awfully confusing. Could you ask them how this happened? What, do we have any information on how it got here? What fired at it? Might help me narrow things down to disarm it, or at least get it away.
Meanwhile, Burrell's looking at this. Like you take a middle-aged to elderly man to a car show, and they're like, "Ooh," and they're looking and stuff, arms behind the back like that, looking around. That's Burrell at this torpedo. She's fascinated. She's away.
Yeah. All right.
At this point, can I say that I've beamed over?
Yeah, we can get you in a shuttle.
Okay.
And then beam over to the kind of runabout pad and then set down. Yeah. So you've headed over in a shuttle. That's no problem.
Okay, so I'll kind of do what Harvey asked and try and translate how, just how.
Yeah.
Yeah, or I guess I and the Doctor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. As in like how did this happen, or how should we help?
You know what? We'll go with either, and then that way they can choose. Either way, when they respond, it's going to be helpful.
Ideally, how this happened.
Okay, how it happened.
So I think
I had started translating the one, and then Harvey corrects me.
One sec. I'll adjust on the fly.
Yeah, there's a bit of back and forth, like the alien's a bit, what, hang on, what do you say? No, what? Yeah, but in sphere. And yes, and you just get the kind of a message of attack. There are some sentiments at least, or maybe it's trying to name someone or something that you just don't understand, because it's maybe it would be like hearing a name of a person or a people that you just don't know. Like it's, so they're trying to identify someone or something that Starfleet or yourselves just don't really know, just don't really have any kind of record
but
of.
they know this foe, correct?
Yeah. And so it really is, the sentiment is like, we were attacked.
There's some kind of enemy, looks like, right? That's what it said. They said.
So basically, it's lucky that they're not blown up yet, which means this thing's probably still armed.
Yeah.
And it kind of, it gives you a couple of sentiments that Rg'von, you kind of able to again translate on the fly through an aspect of your viewer in your EV helmet, but also just through to kind of, you're starting to actually see some of the patterns now, and starting to, with just the linguistics, you're starting to get a little bit of it.
Yeah.
There are two sentiments that it expresses, and they're kind of independent, and it's not really necessarily a choice, but they're kind of like courses of action. It's like, help us leave. And it's what you would technically translate into as like disarm. It's like, it's like power down the torpedo.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I respond back with yes. Like, we'll try, and what's an easy way to ask? Do you need protection? Need protection? Need guard? Question mark.
I mean, if we're going to try and disable this, it's probably better to have as many, at least as people away by it as possible, in case.
No, I meant do they need protection against? Because they said let us leave, so it's like, do they need protection? So there were two sentences, like, so one, yes, we'll help, and then I kind of like let you know that I've offered our help. But the other question for them is like, do they need protection? Do they need guarding?
Yeah, so they would say that not now. Just need help now.
Okay.
Help. And you're sure of the translation, but it just doesn't quite. It doesn't. It's like a non sequitur from what you've previously had. It's like, help 300 leave. And stop torpedo.
Let's figure that torpedo out.
Can we beam it into space? This is Dr. Chella asking.
I mean, if we can get some transport enhancers set up, maybe. The problem is with the asteroid ship, it's blocking our transporters, as it always has been. I've got a few.
Beam it somewhere deeper inside the asteroid.
Could we beam it onto the shuttle that I brought over and fly the shuttle out and blow it up?
Well, ideally, I would just beam it out into space if I could use the transporters, but the transporters are the problem. I've got an idea. We could try and do it with transport enhancers. Maybe that'll cut through the interference. We could manually try to disarm it, or we could try and use the tractor beam from the cargo to try and pull it out. None of them are really great options.
When you mention the tractor beam to pull it out, Burrell's face is like, ooh, no. Like there's a wince.
I mean, given time, I might be able to disarm it, but it's alien.
Well, you and me working on it together?
We could try, Chief.
I'd
get as many people away from here as possible, though.
Yeah. How many can we get off this asteroid? Because if the thing blows, we don't want to take out. What did they say, 300?
Yeah, 300 on there. We're kind of hooped, but we could probably fit like 20 into the. They're not huge, right? They're just larger.
They're elephant sized.
Elephant size. We can fit 10 into the runabout if we really squeeze.
Probably fit like 2 into the runabout.
We can fit 2 into the runabout if we really squeeze.
Well, I was more thinking. I imagined that. I mean, because this is a big asteroid, right? This is big shit. I would imagine more just the local area. So to tell them that the local area around here to get people away from it.
I see.
I don't think this probably wouldn't destroy the entire thing.
If it's maybe a quantum torpedo, it would.
Vicinity will probably be. So if you just evacuate to and we can. Yeah. If I were you two, I would get on the shuttle too. Emergency transport should we panic.
I don't have any and I don't have any patients to treat, so I think that's probably the best idea for me. Unless you still need a translator.
Once we clear the area, we won't need a translator.
All right. I'm going to. I will relay the message to let them know to evacuate as far away as possible from this area.
Cool. And you spend a little bit of time. You have to like usher away a bit of an elephant crowd now that's turned up like at the mouth of the torpedo cave. And so you manage to kind of translate roughly for them to like move out the way, get back. And Oshron, are you heading back as well to like the shuttle to a safe distance?
Only if I'm sure that there's nothing else I can do to help. Because it's not that I'm trying to be safe. It's more like the last thing I'd want to do is leave Harvey and the chief kind of like without a translator when they actually need it.
Yeah. Do you so you could hail back to the station or even the bird of prey that's in close proximity. Did you intend to evacuate any of the creatures?
I mean,
or did you just intend to try and deal with the torpedo?
I'm gonna ask them like evacuate ?
Yes. Help
Okay.
300 leave.
Then I'm gonna start like I'll tell the runabout. I'll tell the station to send more runabouts ASAP, and I'll get the bird of prey to start loading up. I guess 3 at a time.
Okay.
They aren't that much bigger than runabouts.
All right. So yeah, the larger ships come in to assist. Harvey and Burrell, then you are face to face with a kind of quantum-esque torpedo. You're going to need to disarm this thing. So yeah, I'm going to need a roll from you. It's going to be a little difficult little job.
Harvey's going to look at it.
Ready, Harvey, as the engineer.
Chief, have you ever disarmed a torpedo before?
No, but I have given medicine to a targ, which is basically the same thing.
Comforting. Okay.
She looks at you and like, she's got that little, she's confident. Burrell is usually very, very confident. And you can see it slip for a minute, that fear of like, oh God, before she like tries to, stay yourself, Harvey. We got this. And if we don't, drinks are on me and Stovacor.
What?
It was a joke. Right.
All right. Difficulty would be 3. As you approach, you start to take off some of the little panels of the casing of the torpedo. It nudges slightly, and there is there's a kind of rocking in the actual crevice this is created. And for a second there, it's squeaky brown trousers time, as like you're like, oh my God, did we just move? Are we just about to explode? But thankfully, no. But it is kind of emitting more of a pulse now, and you can feel that like energy vibration, that really high frequency energy vibration through the gloves of your EV suit. And I'm going to spend, because we're coming up right towards the end, right? This is the culmination of the episode, 4 threat to add 2 more difficulty to that. So that is going to be, is that repeatable? I'm just double checking. Yep, it is. So that's going to leave me with 2 threat, and the difficulty is going to be 5. Determination. It's determination time. It's rolling lots of dice time.
Okay.
You got 2 momentum in the bank. Who wants to lead the task and who wants to assist?
This is gonna be like probably like an insight or like a reason, right? For doing it.
Yeah, I'll take both of those.
Got pretty good reason.
Yeah, you want to lead and I'll assist you.
I would say this is bomb disposal, but Star Trek, right? So
Yeah.
I would say that the person leading the task, the person doing the diffusing, is control.
Okay, I can do that as well.
The person
Okay.
assisting, you could argue insight or reason as you're trying to guide and you're trying to figure out what the torpedo, like its construction is like, in order to disarm it.
Okay. Watch your
Can I
control
assist with
comms
an-
are good.
Can I assist with an insight in science to try and give one more extra kind of bump from any translations that I might have gathered about what the torpedo is? If they know who
Yeah.
attacked them, then they wouldn't know who's attacked them before. It's not like they knew who it was. They've been under attack before, is the idea.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I would take that, and I would get you to be rolling again. So 1 assist die, and it would be insight, I would say.
Yeah,
And
insight
I
and
think it
science?
would be I think it would be engineering.
Engineering? Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, so Tom,
Yes.
to help us make this decision on a purely mechanical level, 13 is my target number that I could reach. That's the highest I can reach.
The highest I can reach with control and engineering is 15.
Okay, you're leading.
You're the man for the job.
I'm the man for the job. I do have an idea for if it all goes to pot, but it requires someone in the runabout ready.
The doctor's there ready to go, right? In the
Okay.
runabout.
Yeah.
I can meet you.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So
yes.
Control
about-
engineering.
Yeah.
Can I use a focus of EVA for this? 'Cause
Yeah,
we're
you
doing
can.
it in
Yeah.
the EVA suit.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Okay, I've
Yeah,
got
you're
to
in zero
focus.
G.
I got to focus. I've got a
Right,
determination.
before you roll,
Yeah.
Tom. Okay. Do you want to spend your determination now and
Yeah.
get yourself 2 automatic successes, or
Yeah.
do you want to save it to re-roll?
No, I want those 2 automatic.
You want those 2
successes
successes now?
Now. Yeah. So we
Yeah.
only need 3 then, right? We only need 3 more successes from this.
Mm-hmm.
It was a 5.
We have 2
difficulty.
momentum.
Okay.
Do you want to roll any extra dice as well?
Use them
So
on that.
you'd be normally you're rolling. You've currently got 2 dice in your pool. You've just added a dice that's already rolled a 1, so you've already got 2 successes. Do you want to roll a 4th dice?
Yeah.
Okay, that's your 2
Oh,
momentum.
hang on.
gone. Do you want to roll a 5th d20? Remember that one of them has already rolled a crit.
Can I? Would jury rig be possible with this?
Jury rig is specific about what it kind of
I-
does, right? So let's give it a quick read
Yeah.
again.
It basically reduces the difficulty by 2, but if you do it, essentially it will reactivate at a harder difficulty later.
You may perform your engineering task. You may reduce the difficulty by 2 to
Oh,
minimum
it's-
0.
it's
If you
more
do this, the
repair.
repairs
It's
are
about
only
repairing.
temporary. No, you can,
Yeah.
but what you do is only temporary and will only last a single scene plus 1 additional scene per momentum spent.
I'm not gonna
This
do
will
that.
be
I'm not gonna do that.
temporary.
Yeah.
But it could be enough to get it off the ship and let it blow up in space very
Maybe.
dramatically, rocking both the station. and the ship.
That'll be an emergency thing. No, we won't do that. We won't do that. Okay.
just looking to
I'm using
disarm it.
I've used determination, so that's gone. I'm rolling. What am I rolling at the moment? Still, I want another. So I'm rolling 3 at the moment, right?
You're rolling 3 dice, and you've got another dice that's already rolled 2 successes.
Ooh. Could I use my determination to crit my assist?
Yes.
Can I also use my crisis management to give Burrell a direct task, which lets her roll a skill rather than a?
Not in this task. If it comes to it, then yeah.
Okay.
As a response to some emergency happening. Yeah, absolutely. What
Okay.
values are you guys using? Because you also need to note that down as your
Oh.
milestones. Remember. And Burrell, you've only got 3 at the moment.
Yeah,
I'm
Spin
gonna-
tape.
So because I have no idea what technology this is, I'm going to use my gut can sometimes break physics. So I'm going with my gut. What?
All right. Yeah.
What makes this
So
thing
for
tick?
Burrell, this looks like what are you doing? This shouldn't work, and you're just
Yeah.
like, no, just follow the
It's-
vibrations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I love it. Tom, do you want to max out your dice pool and roll a 5th and final die?
Yeah. Let's go for it. Fuck it. Let's
All right.
go. Why
So
not?
that's 3 more threat to me. Sorry, there we go. So
What could
5.
go
All right.
wrong, right?
So Tom, you are going to roll 4 dice in
4.
your dice, and then we're going to add 2 successes onto that.
Okay. Go 4. Yes. Focus.
And Susie, I need your assist roll as well.
No complication range, right?
Complication range is disarming a bomb. Complication range is an 18, 19, or 20. So complication range 3.
3. Okay, here we go.
It's 1 success from Burrell.
You got
4 successes.
4, 5 successes, 6, 7 successes. Okay, it's sweaty lip time, but you managed to defuse this torpedo and it powers down. You got 2 momentum. You could also like create an advantage. You could ask them questions about the nature of what's going on as well, based on your task. Was there anything you wanted to spend that momentum on? What am I doing?
I don't want to remove the torpedo.
Yeah, can we
Now it's
could
disarmed.
we get it into a state where we could remove it from the asteroid safely? And now it's disarmed. We could
Absolutely.
like do some reverse engineering on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So part of that, so the momentum I feel is like the Doctor bringing in, like backing up the roundabout a little bit,
Yeah.
and then like you guys can tractor beam the torpedo up through its entry point and then out into space a little bit. So you're towing this little torpedo that you've disarmed into space with that momentum spent. And so I think what we're going to wrap up on is a kind of scene in like Dunkirk fashion. Like the station has sent every like on-hand ship it can. There are freighters here. There are Klingon scout ships. There's a bird of prey that's arrived here that's already been here. There are a couple of runabouts have arrived as well. So like they've just assembled everyone they can, like hands on deck. And these creatures are like latching on, jumping onto the hulls of these ships because they're void creatures. They exist in a vacuum, and so they're just like jumping on them and then just like holding on for dear life as just slowly. And it's this actually on the final viewpoint, and you can see from your screen on the runabout, those of you in the runabout now that all together. This beautiful little scene of like just this little slow flotilla heading towards Narendra Station.
May I add something?
Absolutely, yeah.
I would like to pitch a running gag for our group. So there are 3 ships always assigned to the Narendra, and the USS Venture is a Galaxy class. I have this just a giggle the other night. Yeah, I think about the game. So I had a giggle the other night that the Venture is always late for anything that we do. So it's always doing its own things, but it always shows up after it would have been helpful, right? So we have successfully got this thing sorted out, and then the mother effing Venture shows up to help, to kind of claim all the glory, and it's just like in the way, and it's yeah.
Yeah, so the Venture drops out of warp in that like and like comes into the system.
Looking all glorious and majestic, and the 4 of us just look at each other like, ugh.
Yeah, there's some shipborne of the shots of the ship, panning over the hull and everything. But the flotilla's basically almost like to docking, and the 300 like mineral alien colonists are deposited safely in the vacuum area of that big like empty like docking bay area where the freighters all go inside the station, and they're kind of like just gathered up, and Starfleet engineers start trying to take a look, and Harvey, you're in one of the teams as well. They just start to try and fathom how they're going to help this race, like patch their mineral asteroid ship together. Roll credits, I guess.
I guess.
She's disappointed we didn't blow up.
No, I'm not. I loved it. All right, cool.
Oh wait. Before the credits roll, or mid-credit cutscene.
Yeah.
Does Sadak call back?
Oh yeah, absolutely. When you're back from the okay, this is a bit of an in-joke from my LARP friends. When you arrive back on the station, you've got a personal communique on your pad. So like you probably like arrive back home. Maybe you've even forgotten about the date for just a brief moment as you've got all this going on. And you sit back and you're just checking through your space emails on your space laptop. And you get from Tadok just 2 words. Don't die.
Oh, yes. Oh, absolutely. We'll take that. That's brilliant.
And there we have it. How to get a Vulcan in 10 days or something. I don't know. Maybe I was trying to come up with a funny film title. All right. That's it from our session. Thank you, everyone. That was fun. That was enjoyable. It was a bit of a slightly more chill session. And I always love a session that has some funny like interpersonal drama as well. They're always such a good laugh.
Let's torpedo that has to be disarmed. It was a chill session, everyone.
Yeah. Well, look, it wouldn't have just crashed into the station. It would have stopped at some point, and they would have just like hopped onto the station. But you didn't know that. You didn't know what was going on. It was actually quite chill. Like the Borg didn't show up. There were no Romulans gunning you down.
Right, she ended with 5 threats. I mean,
no joke. I thought for a minute that was species 8472, and I'm like, hey, yo.
I wouldn't do that to you yet.
You see in the chat, chill. This episode was basically the sexy scenes from True Lies. I'll take that. Not only I can date like that in a real life. Jesus.
Oh, all right. Well, people have got to go. So let's just go around very quickly and say, that you had fun, obviously, but also like where we can find you on the internet and all stuff like that as well. Cool. Yeah, Anita, you're up first as usual.
I'll say Tim might be a little bit pressed for time. So do you want to go first?
Oh yeah, go for it. Sorry.
That's okay, thanks. Yeah, I do have to go back to my rent job, which is like right now. My lunch just ended. So you can find me at the GM Tim or the GMTim.ca. I still have space left on my November 10th to 14th castle. So I'll be in Newcastle if you want to come play. My games are awesome, and I actually can tell you that my Tides of Destiny trilogy episodes will be on sale soon. We're finishing final edits and final playtests, so probably within a month you'll be able to buy those. And with that, I have to like duck out. I love you all. Thank you so much for like letting me play with you. I told you all this is my I love this. This is so much fun. I never get to play, and playing Star Trek with you guys and being a goofy gay nerd in space is like being a goofy gay nerd, but having to do real life, but better. So I thank you very much, and I love you lots. I gotta go. Bye.
Thank you, company. Thank you, Tim. Thank you so much. Awesome, lovely. So yeah, Anita.
Okay. So hi everybody, I'm Anita, otherwise known as Panita or Critical Misses. I'm a TTRPG streamer, graphic designer, producer, and cat mom about the space. You can find me everywhere at Panita or at Critical Misses. You can find me next on Friday on Critical Misses for the series finale of The Lost Frontier, which is my Star Trek Adventures actual play. And after that, we have Morning Ritual on Saturdays, which is a TTRPG talk show. And our guest this week, I believe, is Jeremy from Jasper from 3 Black Halflings. So we're going to chat with Jasper today and this week. It's going to be fun. Also, Sundays, I'm on Pluto Cleric's channel for a Starfinder game called The Weird Frontier. We are 2 episodes from our series finale, season finale from that. Other than that, channel pitches for Critical Misses ends on Friday. So if you have a game that you want to run, pitch it to me and we'll see if we can get you on the slate. Other than that, that's it. That's all. That's me.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And Tom, well done, disarming a bomb. It's good.
I know, it's great. This is great. This engineering luck is really cool. You can disarm a bomb, do all sorts of fun stuff. It's great. Who wants to be captain when you can be an engineer?
Right. That's where the fun really is.
It's great fun. I love it. It's so much fun. I myself am Hotflakes Tom. You can find me on Twitter under that name, pretty much most other places. I'm not sure if we're doing a Blood and Sand on Thursday on Follow Black Cats. We might be, I don't know. But that's where I'm on it, on Follow Black Cat's channel, with the lovely Susie being the DM. We normally do it every other Thursday, about 7 p.m. GMT and 2 Eastern. There you go. But yeah, that's me.
Oh, and Susie.
Hi everyone, I'm Susie, otherwise known as Susanna Grace, and that's where you can find me all over the internet at Susanna Grace. That's Susanna with one N, like it says on the overlay right there. Excuse me. It was great. I enjoyed the session a lot today. I love being chief. I get to delegate a lot of stuff. Other people do the things, and I supervise and terrorize them with awful jokes. It's great. Delegation. It's great. But when I'm not being a chief of ops, I am on my channel at Susanna Grace on Twitch, where I stream a bunch of video games. Most recently, I've been playing a bunch of Dead Island 2 with our very own Hotflakes right there, punching zombies in the face and other such things, getting covered in goop and lots of very brave noises. It's been a bunch of fun. As Tom says, we are on the Follow Black Cat's channel playing Game of Thrones every other Thursday. That's campaign set during the Conquest of Dawn by Nymeria. When I'm not doing any of that, I'm media marketing for Black Cats Gaming. We are a small little indie tabletop publishing company who made the spy game 5e and our upcoming game Cursed Captains of Cthulhu, which Sam has been wonderfully editing in the edit mines. And I've been in the art mines, and we're very excited to bring that to you all very, very soon. That's me.
Thank you so much. As for me, you can find me around the internet at RPG Webby, and you can find us at Black Cats Gaming at Follow Black Cats or blackcatsgaming.com. I'm also the head of brand over at Modiphius Entertainment that made this here lovely game. If you want to grab the game, head over to modiphius.net. We've still got plenty of stock, and you can also grab the game on Roll20 as well. Speaking of which, we've got a couple of winners for you from our giveaway. So well done to Aurora Stacy and Kay Bedlam. You have both got a copy of this Roll20 module, giving you access to all of the Star Trek Adventures core rules for you and your players. Congratulations. We'll be back next week with a slightly longer runtime, hopefully, as we go into a little bit longer sessions, and we continue our adventures in the Shackleton Expanse, centered around our station, Starbase 364, Narendra Station. So until next week, live long and prosper, peace and long life. That's right, isn't it? Yeah, well done me. Congrats. See you later.